Hello, and welcome to English for Everyone, where we practice real-life American English. Today we're going to learn some common and confusing phrases, so let's get started. So we know if we hear so much, so many, and so long, we're giving emphasis. So much is a lot, so many is a lot, so long is a long time. But what if we put only before it? Only so much, only so many, and only so long. What does that mean? Let's take a closer look. When I say only so much, it's for something that's not countable, and it means there's a limit. Example, I can do only so much. It means there's a limit to what I can do. There's a limit to how much I can do. I can't do everything. I can't do it all. There's only so much I can do. Let's hear some examples with only so much.
No.
Why not?
Because there's only so much failure and humiliation a person can take.
Your son's blood vessels are like tiny faucets with only so much blood to lose.
There's only so much satisfaction the kid can get from the back of a pantyhose package.
I guess there's only so much good one person can do.
There's only so much I can do, sir, when you give the world's press your home address.
Example, he works hard. He tries to do everything, but he can't, because there's only so much he can do in one day. The idea, there's a limit to how much he can do. There's only so much he can do in one day. Or I can change the structure and say he can. He can only do so much in one 8-hour day. Again, he can only do so much in one day. The idea, there's a limit. He cannot do everything. Let's practice. Is there only so much he can do in one day? That's right, there's only so much he can do in one day. Let's practice. Can he do only so much in one day? That's right, he can only do so much in one day. There's a limit to how much he can do. That's the idea. Now let's talk about only so many. It's the same idea, but it's for countable nouns. Example, there are only so many things he can do in one day. Things is countable, so we say there's only so many things he can do in one day. I know what you're thinking. What about there are? It's plural. You should say there are only so many things he can do in one day. That's true. There are is correct. But in reality, people say both. So if you hear someone say, there's only so many things I can do in one day, it doesn't sound bad because people say both. It's common to hear it both ways. Let's hear some examples.
Mr. Proctor, there's only so many times we can do this before people start asking questions.
Only so many times a woman can say, how about the bed?
Probably not. There's only so many times I can hear you talk about the Container Store.
There's only so many times you can fall down, right?
After all, there are only so many homes and so many people with good enough jobs to buy them, right?
When you realize there are only so many things you can teach a child.
There's only so many places at the table, Gunny.
Example. She sells cookies, and people want her cookies. But there's a limit to how many cookies she can make in one day. So I say there are only so many cookies she can make in one day. The idea, there's a limit. Or I can change the structure and say she can only. She can only make so many cookies in one day. It's the same idea. Let's practice. Are there only so many cookies she can make in one day? That's right, there are only so many cookies she can make in one day. Let's practice. Can she make only so many cookies in one day? That's right. Now let's talk about only so long. The idea, there's a limit to how much time you can do something. I can't do it forever. I can do it for only so long. Let's hear some examples.
No, I'm sorry. My lunch hour is only so long, and my next patient is 15 and still dresses like Spider-Man.
She'll resist my charms for only so long.
That can divert you for only so long.
There's only so long one can do that.
Example. They're watching a movie, but the movie is 3 hours, and he's getting bored. So there's only so long he can sit and watch a movie. There's a limit to how long he can sit and watch a movie. Then he'll get bored. He can only watch a movie for so long. Then he gets bored. Let's practice. Can he watch a movie for only so long? That's right. He can watch a movie for only so long. Then he'll get bored. So remember, when you hear only so much, only so many, and only so long, you're talking about a limit. There's a limit to how much, there's a limit to how many, and there's a limit to how long. That's what it means. Thank you for watching, and keep watching to find out how you can avoid mistakes with much and many, and make speaking English easier. Hello, welcome to English for Everyone, where we practice real-life American English. Today we're going to learn a trick to make speaking English a little easier. So let's get started. That's right, avoid using the words much and many. Of course, they're very common words and you'll hear them all the time, but if you're learning English as a second language, it's very easy to make mistakes with these words. One problem is, much is for non-countable words and many is for countable words. So it's easy to make a mistake there. Example, many books. He has many books. I cannot say much books because it's countable. I use many. And if I say cash or money, that's not countable. I cannot say many money or many cash. I have to say much. But there's another problem. We don't use much in a positive structure. It sounds strange. If I say he has much cash, he has much money. So it's easy to make mistakes with these two words, much and many. So what do you use instead? Instead of much and many, use a lot of. A lot of is used for countable and non-countable things. I can say he has a lot of money, and I can say she has a lot of books. A lot of is always correct. I can use a lot of for positive ideas. Remember, I cannot say he has much money. He has much cash. We don't use much in a positive structure, so I have to say a lot of. He has a lot of cash. He has a lot of money. Pronunciation, a lot of. The T makes a fast D sound, a lot of cash, a lot of money. You can pronounce the V sound at the end, a lot of money and a lot of cash, but when this comes before a consonant, a lot of times you don't hear the V sound. But of course you can make it, it's correct. You can hear a lot of money or a lot of money. You can hear a lot of cash or a lot of cash. Let's practice. Does she have a lot of books? That's right, she has a lot of books. Does he have a lot of money? That's right, he has a lot of money. Does he have a lot of cash? That's right, he has a lot of cash. So, to help you reduce the number of mistakes you make, don't use much and don't use many. Use a lot of, and you'll avoid a lot of mistakes. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, subscribe to our channel. And if you want to become a member, click the join button. And we'll see you next time.